Social studies is the field about people. It includes things like science, technology, history, politics, economics. So history is already included in the study of social studies. Where children are concerned, children are naturally interested in where they come from and what happened yesterday and what has gone on with their families and their friends and the world around them. So their interest alone is enough to include history in early childhood curriculum. But it's also important because human beings seek to understand themselves, including children, by understanding their past. So study of history has been defined as a time-oriented study that refers to what we do know about the past. The Standard 2 of the National Council of Social Studies is time, continuity, and change. So its study should let children understand their historical roots and to locate themselves in time. And answer questions such as, who am I, what happened in the past, how am I connected to those in the past, how has the world changed, and why does our personal sense of relatedness to the past change? And that is under the National Council of Social Studies. So using this definition, teachers can introduce the following key concepts. Time, which is the study of history, is time-oriented. Children can use sequencing to establish a sense of order and time in their routines. Change. History helps children accept the inevitability of change. Through actual experiences as well as listening to stories of the past, children can learn that change is constant and should not be feared. The continuity of human life. The human connections that Dewey writes about might be thought of as the continuity of human life, which children can discover through their own experiences. The past. Children have experienced the immediate past. They can talk about it and record it. Children can also touch and handle objects and records from their more distant past, such as photographs and letters, and listen to stories and poetry about the past to gain understanding. The methods of the historian. The goal of the study of history is not to make children, especially small children, into historians, but it can help children to use the methods of the historian to make their lives more meaningful and fuller. Using the process of inquiry, children are taught to recognize problems and ask questions, to observe, analyze, and infer as they collect and examine evidence, and finally to reach their conclusions. So when history is presented to them in ways that they're appropriate to their development, children can do the following. They can gain concepts to the study of history, learn to differentiate between the present, time past, and time long ago, find history to be interesting and meaningful when it is centered on their own lives and families, appreciate history when its study is embedded in myths, stories, legends, and biographies, and get a first-hand glimpse of the lives of people who lived long ago, using records of the past, letters, diaries, family records, and photos. And they can begin to use the methods of the historian, learning to question, study, and reach conclusions. So we see that history is very relevant to children's interaction with people and in their social studies, so that it can really give them a sense of who they are and where they might go, and also to teach them about how they can see where their world has gone before them and how they might be able to help change it in the future.